Welcome to service, virtual service, that is, at the Potters. So glad you could be here. Those who've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you're new here, wow, we ought to celebrate because you're here for the first time. Well, today we have a really, I think, an exciting message. This is Romans chapter 8, where it's like we're climbing the Mount Everest of the New Testament. I mean, everything is coming to like just a crescendo right around verse 30, where the Bible talks about where everything comes to its fulfillment and how we are conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. Well, the title of the message today is You Are Called. You see my young lady there, you might have seen it. She's on a phone call, and the phone that says on the other end is God. All right? She's called by God. So are you, my friend. So, have you ever received a phone call that changed, I don't know, the entire trajectory, the entire direction of your life? Maybe it was a call about some dream job you wanted. You know, you had a dream for many years, and hey, you're hired, right? Or maybe it was a call from a doctor with unexpected news. Or maybe it was a call from someone you love, right? Well, a single significant call, just one call, has the power to shift your entire reality. Well, my friend, God has called you. He doesn't need a phone to do it either. There is no AT&T Spectrum or T-Mobile on that one. God can get in touch with his people. And he has called, the good news, he's called each and every one of us. When I talk about the word called, some people think they're called to preach. But preaching is only one small part of so many different callings that God has given to each one of us in the body of Christ. So don't feel intimidated when I say God called you. That's a good thing. He has called you to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. So stay right there. We're going to talk more about it in just a moment. Well, hey folks, consider the most important call a human being can ever receive. Remember I talked about the calls in the intro today? I mean, a call about a new job, a call from somebody you love, call from the doctor's office says you're cured from something. Just things that just change your life. Well, in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 30, the Apostle Paul says the following: "And those whom he predestined, he also called, and those whom he called, he also justified, and those whom he justified, he also glorified." Folks, this will be an exploration of all the important ideas surrounding what it truly means to be called by God. Well, Romans chapter 8, verses 28 to 32 shows us that salvation is something orchestrated by God. He controls it. And it is something that begins with one step. There are 5 steps to it. One step and goes all the way to the ultimate step. This is something God says. We are moving in an amazing direction that God is in control of. It starts in eternity past, right? And then if you're going to say ends, it ends. There's no end, but the other end of it is eternity in the future. All right. The Bible says that, first of all, you were foreknown. He said he foreknew you. He deeply knew and loved you, and he loved you first. He loved you before you loved him. Second, we were predestined, right? He drew a map around your life, right? All our lives. And he plans for us to become, I love this, to become like his son. Your chief aim in life is to become like Jesus, step by step by step. God already knew how your life would turn out. Don't get that twisted. God didn't make your life turn out in a certain way. He wouldn't be a just God, bringing some people to heaven and other people allowing to go into eternal punishment. No. He knew it beforehand. And therefore, because of what God knew, he made a calling on you. He called you to himself, called you to be like him, right? So therefore, he foreknew you. He knew you before, right? You were. And he predestined you. He saw your destiny. And he says, I can get with that. And he lines you up with your destiny. Third, he called us. He invited us into his family. Fourth, God justified us. Some people say, hey, the good way to remember what it means is to say it is just as if you're already saved, right? Just as if you already are what you might not even already be. He justified you just as if you never sinned. So justification, he declared us not guilty in his heavenly courtroom. That's the fourth thing. Number 5, he glorified us. My Lord. He guarantees our future perfection. He guarantees our future eternity. My God, predestined you. First, he foreknew you. Then he predestined you. Then he called you. Then he justified you. Then he's going to glorify you. That's all kind of stuff. I have no idea what he's doing, but he's in the process of doing it in your life right now. And so right in the middle of there are 5 of these steps. In the middle is the word call, right? It is the powerful, it's like a bridge between God's plan in the past, right, and our glorious future. In the middle of it, he called you to himself. And so let's talk about a little bit what it means to be called. What it means to be called. If we want to understand Paul, right, we must think like a person from the time when Paul lived, right? Paul lived in the Near East. It was in the neighborhood of 2,000 years ago, 6,000 some odd miles away from here. All right? So it was another time and it was another place, right? Different culture, but God's eternal truths are always exactly what they are. And so we translate them into our day by first seeking to understand what was in the mind of Paul when he wrote what he wrote. So we must try to get inside of the mind of a first century person, right? We should look at, it'll help us to look at the original Greek and the original Hebrew words that he uses. This is not a big time Hebrew lesson. I may or may not even call the name of some of the words there. But that's what you do. We have so many study tools these days, so we can go back and look on an English word and click on its translation, and you'll know the original word and what that word meant. So in Romans chapter 8, verse 30, the Greek word for called is very personal. All right? I love that. God did a personal thing when he called you. My friend, he called you by your name. He called you by your name. This is individual. This is up close. God had a plan for you, and he called you, specifically you, into his plan. Oh, that get me riled up. He called you by name. Now think about the mail that you receive every day, okay? Boy, your email, the box gets filled up with stuff. You have to direct it automatically to junk sometimes. I have seen some of my church members had 8,000 emails. I saw one, and you're not going to believe this. You know, on the home screen of your iPhone, it said she had 45,000 emails that she hadn't even checked yet. 45,000 of them. Greg Johnson back there is going, oh my goodness, yeah. And it was crazy. But we get email every day. Most of it is junk mail, right? Addressed to, and then when you get mail that is mailed to your mailbox, paper stuff, all right? A whole bunch of it is addressed to current resident. Well, I go straight to the trash can with that bad boy, right? It's like a general broadcast sent to everybody in the neighborhood. Maybe one or two people will pick up on it. That's what they want to do, right? Well, you throw it away without a second thought. But occasionally, ever so often, you receive a sealed envelope with a name, listen, that is handwritten on it, such as a RSVP, Respondez s'il vous plaît, right? Respond to an invitation to a wedding or something, some exclusive event. Well, your eyes, you perk up when you see that. Well, God sent you some mail, friend. He calls out your specific name. He speaks directly to your heart. He's waking you up from a spiritual, laziness, sloth, and spiritual death even. When I was without Jesus, I was separated from God. That's called death spiritually. And he kept messing with me, y'all. He kept messing with me. And he wasn't pushing hard. It was just, you could feel him inviting. He just kept on inviting. He kept on overlooking my wrong and inviting me till it came to a point where I had to pay him direct attention because he was calling me. He's calling me. He specifically invited me out of my loss, out of my deficit, out of my death. It is a royal invitation from the King of Kings, the King of the universe, y'all, to step out of darkness and to take your seat at his family table. That's crazy. God wants you to come sit at his table, to his banquet. And not only that, he adopts you. He wants to call you his own kid, not just your child. I'm his kid. You know what I'm saying? He loves me that much. Well, there's a call that was sent out to us. Let's talk a little bit, secondly, about the purpose of the call. Well, when God calls your name and mine, what exactly is he calling us to? Isn't that a good question? I think so. If we look back just one verse from Romans 8 and 30 to Romans 8:29, right? Paul says, we are predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son. Oh my. He wants me to look like his only begotten Son. I say to that, what? That blows my mind. He wants me to be like Jesus. Whew, I look at my life. Folks around me say, that seems a pretty decent guy, but when I compare myself to him, you know, if I played, I don't know what you call it, pee-wee basketball and stuff, I beat everybody up. But then LeBron James walks into the gym. Yeah. Oh, if the Lady Gamecocks walk into the gym, just forget about it. It's done. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what? Am I good? You know? Compared to Jesus. That's why my head kind of spins when I contemplate that a little too much. He wants me to be like him. Eventually. That's what I'm working on all my lifetime. All my lifetime. All my lifetime. Well, the Greek word for image, you know, the image of Jesus, that word looks like a word that we know about, all right? That word is spelled E-I-K-O-N. It is either econ or icon. I think it's probably econ, E-I-K-O-N. Well, it brings to mind a word that we often use today, and I've said it just a moment ago, the word I-C-O-N, icon. Well, what's an icon? An icon speaks of a symbol, right? Or a picture used to represent something that's similar to it, but significantly more important than that thing. Here is a little icon on my screen, and it points to an app or to a website, right? I click when I'm online on an icon, and something that I'm looking for is there waiting for me to partake in it, waiting for me to learn it, waiting for me to experience it. The icon is the representative that I click on, all right? He wants me to conform to the icon of Jesus, to the image of Jesus. That's heavy stuff, right? My friend, you were created to be an icon of and for Jesus Christ. Whew. The ultimate goal of your life, my friend, is to look, to act, and to love just like him. God does not call you just so you can have an easy life. See, a lot of people get all frustrated about that. A lot of people get fit to be tied. Where's God when I hurt? And I get it. I'm a human just like you. And that thought has occurred to my mind many times. You know, what are you doing, God? What's going on here? Where's this thing going to? I'm confused about what's going on in my life right now. I don't seem to be going anywhere. This thing is just all over the map. But I have found out that God is at work every second of the day, every second of the night, slowly, deliberately forming me to the image, the icon of his son. I love hearing about that. God does not call you just so you can have an easy life. He called you to transform you. He wants to change you. He wants to bring you across and make another form something else out of your life. This can call to mind the rescue. This calls to mind the rescue, let's say, of a prisoner of war, right? The soldier is found, I don't know, by the Green Berets or SEAL Team 6, right? They go in and they find you. These bad dudes, man, they just chew rocks for breakfast. They are something else, scared of nothing, tough. They come in and they find you as a prisoner of war. They get in there and they get you out of the cell and they pull you out of this dark, terrible enemy camp. See? Now, that's called the Great Escape. Oh, but the story is not over. The soldier is not instantly sitting safely in his living room. No, no, no. He just got out of the cell, out of the camp, out of the torture chamber. No, no, no. See? He must survive long enough, right, to take this hard walk through the dangerous jungle, right, to get home. Well, my friend, I got good news for you. When God calls you, He breaks the chains of your sin. He gets you out of the enemy's camp. But He also calls you to walk through the jungle of this life. You got me now? To get you to your final kingdom destination, you have to walk through difficulty today. That's sometimes very hard. And sometimes it may not be as hard as it is challenging. It's the whole spectrum of all the different experiences of our lives. And sometimes we want to give up. But oh, don't give up. There is a better day ahead. You never walk alone because the Spirit of God leads you to your new life. Well, you know, there is certainty in your call, so let's talk about it. The certainty of the call of God upon you. But because salvation is not only an event, but a process, God's call, hear this, you're going to want to hear this, His call cannot fail. Did you hear what I said? God's call on your life cannot fail. Impossible for it to fail. Once you have reached out to Him and once He's grabbed a hold of you, He's not going to let you go. He knows life is tough. He sees the whole shooting match. But can I tell you, He sees you already at the end of it victorious with your hands raised up high. See, in victory. All the dust is settled, all the smoke clears away, the lightning, the thunder, all this is gone. And all you hear is a little drip from the leaves, the last little drops of water from the storm. And here you are. You, friend, cannot fail. In Romans chapter 8, verse 30, Paul writes in the past tense. You ever notice that? Did you notice it? Paul writes in the past tense, those whom He called, that's past tense. He also, here he goes again, He also justified, that means it's already done. And those whom He justified, He also, guess what? Glorified. My God, He called you. He justified you. All that stuff is back behind you. And He also glorified you. That's the final, absolute, perfected state of every human being. He already got it done in His heart. He sees it already. God doesn't have to wait on the future to come. God waits on nothing. God's already living in there. And He sees you already complete and perfected and flawless and filled with His purpose and looking like Jesus. He sees it already. Oh, I know you might be looking a little raggedy on the edges right now. Don't worry about it. Just keep on moving. He's got you covered. Now notice that we are not glorified yet. But it says in God's eyes we are. But look in the mirror, you can tell you're not glorified yet, practically speaking. But God promises to give us a perfect body at the end of the age. Ooh, I almost can't wait. Why does Paul, friend, write about our future glory as if it's already done? You know why? Because God's call is, you need to hear it. Because God's call, my friend, is so certain and his power is so profound that your future in heaven is guaranteed. You got to keep walking with him. You can't just assume it. You got to keep walking with him and catch up with what he has already destined for you. See? Listen, it is certain, but it's not automatic. You need to hear that part. You need to step into it. Just keep this. Stumble, I don't care. Stumble forward, crawl, roll, stagger sometimes. But just make sure when you fall forward. And if you fall back, get up and just start walking anyway. See? He has made it certain if you'll stay on the road. You ever noticed, if you get on the right road with your GPS, if you wanted to go to Augusta, Atlanta, Charlotte, Charleston, anywhere, if you get on the road that leads there and keep moving, lo and behold, like magic, in time, you will get there. You pick the beginning of the road, you have also picked the end of it. Oh, that's shouting stuff there. So even when you're getting started, you ought to get excited because all I got to do is keep dealing with this moment and I'll get there. I love hearing about that. God's power, my friend, is profound. He has called you to himself. Your future is certain. He called you. And God's ultimate plan, my friend, you better hear me say this, cannot be defeated. And so, be excited. You see my young lady right there? She just got a call on her phone. You probably can't see it, but on the phone it says God. It's like God's calling her. That's not how he does it, but you know what I'm saying. Got to put a graphic on there. It has to look like something, right? She's got a call from God. And you ought to be just as excited as she looks on there. Because you, my friend, are called by God. Well, folks, you can tell I can get a little riled up over something like this. When I hear about the big story, the little story with all the little complications going on in it, oh, it matters less and less when I keep my eyes on the big story. The creator of the stars and the oceans, listen, knows your name. I would love to meet Barack Obama one day. I likely will not meet him, but let me tell you, there's somebody bigger than him, somebody who made him, and everybody else who ever lived on the planet and who will ever live. The creator of all, the endless universe, listen, knows your name. There's a song that says, he knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls, and he answers me. He answers me when I call. That God knows you, loves you. Don't tell nobody, but word on the street, you're his favorite kid. That's what I hear on the street. He saw your entire life. He knew every mistake you would make, every tear you'd cry, every joy you would experience. And looking at all of it, he placed his calling on you. Hey, my friend, God calls you to drop the heavy burdens you were never meant to carry, and to take on the image of Jesus Christ. Answer the call. Step into the grace. Rest assured, knowing that your life rests safely in the hands of the one who knows the end all the way from the beginning. hey friend, you are called.